This video is going to talk you through the origins of the Weimar Republic around about 1918. So the first thing we need to be aware of is obviously that Germany had been ruled by the Kaiser Wilhelm II, since 1888. So they had 30 years of rule by this one guy. He was the solitary autocrat in charge of Germany. What he said went, and that was the way things were, and that was what German people were used to. Germany joined the war in 1914, and by the time we get to 1918, the First World War is going pretty badly for Germany. In October of 1918, you have the mutiny of the German Navy, which is referred to as the Kiel Mutiny. The soldiers are unhappy and are not willing to attack the British Navy, and it generally is the final stepping point in Germany realising that the war is over. So, on 9th of November, Kaiser Wilhelm realises, I can no longer be in charge of Germany, and he abdicates. And 2 days later, they sign the armistice with the Allies to end the First World War. The armistice is signed by a gentleman called Friedrich Ebert, who was the leader of the newly declared German Republic, now that they were no longer led by the Kaiser. One of his first points was that they would have elections to their new sort of parliament, their new constituent assembly, in January of 1919. And so the elections would take place, and the key things that the politicians who were elected would have to do is they would have to create a new constitution for Germany and also sign a peace treaty with the Allies to ensure that the war was officially over. Once the votes had been counted in this election of January 1919, one of the key things that emerged was that there was no one party with a majority, so there would have to be a coalition government. This coalition government and the Constituent Assembly, it was decided that Berlin was too dangerous for them to meet there because of the various different issues that were happening, and so they met in a small town of Weimar, and this is why we come to know this time period as the Weimar Republic. In August of 1919, the new constitution was finalised, and this was the first time that Germany had really officially experienced democracy, with everything laid out clearly and the people having a real say. The main strength of the Weimar Republic was the fact that it was incredibly democratic, more so than many other countries around the world. Men and women had the vote at age 20, whereas women had only just had the vote at the age of 30 in the UK. And there were official positions who would be chosen by the public, such as the Chancellor and the President. However, there were some serious weaknesses to the Weimar Constitution. In particular, one of the key weaknesses was Article 48. Article 48 meant that the President could suspend the Constitution if he felt that there was an emergency, and he could make the laws without the consultation and without the support of the Reichstag. As well as the issue of Article 48, the other key weakness to talk about was the voting system of proportional representation. Proportional representation meant it was unlikely that you would get a party with a large number of seats who could make the decisions on their own. Proportional representation meant you were more likely to have coalition governments where compromise and discussion would be needed in order to make decisions. The German people were unused to this, as they were so used to the rule of the Kaiser, where one person and his small cadre of advisors were making the decisions for the whole country. These weaknesses would cause a major problem as they go forward into the Weimar Republic.